What's up, guys? So I know the title for this said big announcement for future plans or whatever the fuck I'm gonna name this video, but really it's not that deep. I've been thinking about, the kind of videos I've been doing on here, which are like the stream highlights from my Twitch and, kind of making this the hub for that. Um, and that's still gonna stay how it is. It's gonna, not gonna change. But as you guys know, I'm a pretty big fan of Riot Games, really more so because of, how much money I've fucking given Riot Games, which is a lot, like an aggravating amount of money from me, right? But enough. I'm not gonna go into that. I'm not gonna focus on the negative with that. I had fun doing it, and so I make content focused on that stuff because I'm such a big fan. Because there's such a large monetary tie to that. Well, there's only one thing in my life that I'm a bigger fan of, uh, and that's also reflects in how much money I've fucking given them. And if you watch my streams, I mean, hell, you're watching this video, it's pretty fucking obvious what it is, right? It's all the comics on the wall, you know. And if you really pay attention back there, you see it's mostly Marvel comics and mostly Spider-Man comics, which should shock nobody because I was a child born in the late '90s, right as his popularity skyrocketed and all the merchandise and media came out, and suddenly you couldn't go a year without Spider-Man. But whatever, that's besides the fact. The point is, I'm a huge Marvel fan and a huge Spider-Man fan. And it's kind of weird because you have the movies, the Sam Raimi movies where two of them are really well liked, the third one isn't. The Andrew Garfield movies, people really like the first one. The second one, people understand what went wrong and don't blame anybody with that. You know, Tom Holland Spider Man, people, I don't know. I like him. Some people don't, but whatever. You have had Spider Man cartoons like Spectacular Spider Man and Spider Man the Animated Series and all of them. Basically, just everything in media, Spider Man has been beloved except for his source material since I've been alive. Since I've been alive, his comic book media, more specifically his main title, which, there, that Black Cat one, and all the ones fucking here, you know, all of them. Every single one here is Amazing Spider-Man, his main title. The title that was created after his first appearance in Amazing Fantasy, right? Um, that one, it's probably his most polarizing work since I've been alive. It's He's in this weird space where Spider-Man is the most popular comic book character, but he's also the most hated because his main work is equally hated. Um, and I kind of want to talk about that. I'm not gonna spend time and do like a whole history of Spider-Man from 1963 to fucking now. It's not what this is. Uh, if you have no idea about anything about Spider-Man, you've been living under a rock. That's fine. There are people more talented than I am who have done videos about that kind of stuff. Detailing all of that, capturing all of that. What I want to focus on are really the last three. It's called runs when an author, you know, writes for a specific comic book title, because you have multiple authors that write it all the time. So I'm going to focus on the last three authors, three writers that have had runs for him, with that being, Dan Slott, Nick Spencer, and Zeb Wells. Uh, and I can't stress enough, all three of them are good writers. Despite what literally everybody says whenever they took over for Amazing Spider Man, they're not going to get a chance to write Amazing Spider Man unless they're good writers. So I have to get that out of the way right now, right? That here, these three people who I'm going to be talking about and their runs, they are good writers. They had to be given the chance there. My plan is to make a video for like each one, and it's not, I'm talking about the run that they did, right? The comics they wrote. I'm going to be talking about that, obviously. Um, but I feel like what happens is you have people, especially today, who do like reviews of each issue and then do a review of the run and then that's it. And they don't really I don't know. It's hard to review it all instantly. I feel like you need to give the run some time to kind of sit all together. And so that's what I'm doing now. I mean, Dan Slott wrote for a decade. It's really difficult to take his whole run as it comes out and then immediately as it ends and do it all up together and do a review. This isn't going to be like a review, by the way. That's not what I'm going to call it. I mean, because who the fuck am I to review a professional writer hired by Marvel Comics to write one of the best-selling superhero titles ever created? Like, that's not, who the fuck am I, really? These are going to be really spaced out, though, because I'm literally going back in chronological order and reading each author's run. With that said, it's going to be in the order of Dan Slott, Nick Spencer, Zeb Wells. Zeb Wells is the current writer for Amazing Spider-Man. He's not done yet. He's probably not going to be done until next year, middle of next year maybe. So this also is to give me more time to kind of do all of that. I mean, Dan Slott wrote for a fucking decade. That's a lot of comics I'm going to be reading. And I kind of want, the point of this is all to kind of point out to people that not everything is as bad as it seems. Amazing Spider-Man has a tremendous amount of value behind it with Marvel Comics, but also a tremendous amount of expectations. And people's reactions reflect that and how they're never met. But people want to take it out on the author instead of, like the editors and the editorial staff. Like it's gotten to the point where Zeb Wells currently isn't going to conventions because he physically fears for his life. Because he's writing a fucking comic book. And people don't like how he's writing it. So that's that. You know what I mean? That's fucking ridiculous. So the point is that this is really just a preamble video for what's coming to let you guys know, hey, you're going to see 3 videos later on that are not just Twitch stream highlights or whatever. They're going to be like planned, structured with a point to them. Dan Slott first. All 3 videos are coming out next year. I don't even know when I'm putting this fucking video out. Actually, probably December. Probably around. Probably after Christmas. This video is gonna come out. Yeah, it's gonna come out after Christmas. But Dan Slott will come out sometime in the late winter, like February, March, or maybe April. Like early spring, late winter. Then Spencer is going to be hard in the spring. Because his is a bit of an easier read because his, I think, is only 75 issues. But it's all together, so it's pretty easy. And then, by then, Zeb Wells' run should be done. Should be. And then, I don't know, Zeb Wells' run might come out in the summer. The video for that. But I'm honestly just like... It's a lot of comic book reading I'm going to be doing, so I'm really happy about that. I'm really looking forward to making these videos and going back to rereading, the comics I grew up with. Because they mean a lot to me. I mean, I have shit up here that, that Amazing Spider-Man up there. I remember physically buying that in person at a comic book shop. I remember I think I was 12 years old when that came out. And I'm fucking 26 now. Dear fucking God, I'm 26 talking about comic books on the internet. What am I fucking doing? Nope, can't focus on that. Can't focus on that. Regardless, I'm happy that I'm going to be going back and rereading all these things because I haven't touched them in a while. And I hope my sentiment around them changes as well while I do these. Because that's kind of what the point is. I want people who do know about this to kind of have their minds changed a little, but also people who don't know about it to be interested in going through it and kind of seeing what I'm talking about. Because again, I grew up with these, and I don't want to just blindly rose tinted glasses, talk about how great they are. I want to be honest with them. But I hope the amount of effort I'm putting into this allows you guys to enjoy the videos to come. And, that's really it. So, I just want to thank you guys again. And I'll see you guys later. I mean, I assume videos have been coming out by now. I really don't know what Future Me has in store for this whole fucking thing. But I assume videos are still coming out. Shorts are coming out. So, yeah, look forward to more shit coming out on the channel. Thanks, guys.